I was swaying to the music with that one.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Sunday. Yes, and guess what? The Cowboys won. Be still my beating heart. Be still my beating heart.
Right. You know, I mean, I didn't even get to have any fun today. You know, I had to go to Walmart today, you know, the Sunday before Thanksgiving. Ew. Just.
Yeah, not fun.
Ew. Yeah.
I had to do it this morning, but I do it at like dark 30. So as soon as it opens, I'm there usually. So.
Right. You know, all I could say about today, and my daughter commented on it too, is she says, it smells. And I said, I know. I said, people should know that a little soap and water goes a long way. And it was just, it's like, I don't know what was going on today. I guess it was no wash Sunday. Yeah, it was no wash Sunday, and
not fun.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate to speak bad about that, you know, I mean, but some of these people that I were looking at and the stuff they had in their grocery cart, I'm like, you should probably have some soap.
You might need something a little bit different than what you got.
Right. You might need a little soap. Yeah. But no, I mean,
body wash.
Yeah, Walmart's famous for the fun people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the people of Walmart. Of which I is one. Walmart. But I don't dress like some of them. But yeah, I is one.
Right. I don't even feel bad about walking in there with pajamas anymore. I just don't.
Yeah, because you're not going to stand out.
No, it's like the attire of the day. Just go in your pajamas. It's good.
Yeah, I think some of the employees are in their pajamas.
Sometimes it looks like that. Yeah.
Anyway, so how was last night? I did not stay up after our little movie watching venture. So how was last night?
You know, Donny chose, you know, his show was so fun last night, you know, and as we got to talking about that, it was weird because as we started watching the movie, I started getting cold and I had to keep blacking out because the first time I said, I gotta go get some socks on. My feet are freezing, you know, and then the next time I blocked out, I was like, okay, I'm going to go get a blanket. I'm cold. And the next thing, by the end of the show, I have got this thing up and around me and I'm freezing to death.
You look like a mummy.
Right. So it makes me just wonder if I had a little something watching the movie with me. Wasn't quite sure, but I did remind them all of everybody in my house is don't get any ideas.
Yeah. And please don't sit on my lap while you're watching the show with me.
Yeah. Please don't. Just don't, because I wish I would have had, you know, like a targeted thermometer where I could just laser and find out what the temperature was and keep checking it, because I know that the temperature got colder and colder and colder in here.
Oh yeah, don't doubt. I can see you doing it, and of course I'm sitting there watching the movie, and I'm just sitting there. I'm burning up in my little closet area. You know, I mean, finally had to turn the fan on. It got over 82 degrees today alone. I'm like, it's November. It's almost Thanksgiving. I'm not supposed to be seeing 80s.
Yeah, I think we got to 65. I think that's where we were at, a 65.
Well, I'm hoping that gets down to us tomorrow. So, but
yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad of a day. It was nice and sunny.
Yeah, it was. I sweated from the day I got up till the time I just got in here and put the fan on me again. Literally every time I turn around, it's like dead air.
Right. I did here today and tomorrow, but tomorrow night is supposed to start getting cold everywhere again. So
yeah. So yay! Give me a reason to put Christmas lights up.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so you know, everybody look down in the comments in the description area, and I've got all the links for all the shows that we have in our repertoire with every channel we've got, and along with all the time frames, quote unquote time frames that they're supposed to be. Some of them have been changing left and right. Needless to say, it's not normally one of ours; it's somebody else's. So I don't know where it's going to be sometimes. So, but they're there.
Well, yeah.
Keep an eye out for them.
Yeah.
And if you checked it,
as Tex says,
and
the island of misfit toys is
yes.
on every day of the week. So,
well, that's only when he gets bored and tries to pop on.
right, right, yeah. Poor Tex. He popped on last night. We were so engrossed in the movie, we didn't even realize he popped in.
Well, yeah, but everybody had it except for me, and I had mine just so I could see all you guys too. But I can't see on Donnie's stream, the backstage area. He's the only one that can see well, he put it on full screen, so he couldn't see anybody.
Yeah, he couldn't see anybody. Nope. I mean, that's how engrossed we were in that movie, But like I said, we were talking about it on Paranormal Show and Tell, and but seeing that movie put everything kind of in perspective. I mean, because you can talk about it all day long, but I don't know. It kind of brought that whole story to me, from that movie.
Yeah,
because I'd never seen it.
And and I even talked to my wife earlier today. Like I said, for that time frame, that was actually a very well done movie for that time frame, and that being a TV movie to start with, it wasn't bad at all. I mean, it had decent hooks to keep TV, you interested. No. So
right, not for TV.
And it was fun just sitting here BSing and watching. I mean, it was quite hilarious,
right?
Especially when we reacted. To
and
some
we
of
do
it,
plan on doing it again sometime. Yeah, we're going to do it again sometime. So,
as the title states, we got some EVPs we're going over today. I got some from back in the 2006, 2007 time frame with my group that I was with up in the DC area. The first batch we're going to be listening to is all in an orphanage at Gettysburg. During one of the ghost conventions that were up there, and they had the actual that John Zaffis was there, and my guys Vincent or Max and Tara were there, and they were the ones that caught all this evidence, and they brought it back and showed it to us, and had us listen to it, and it was pretty cool evidence. I mean, at the time, 2006, I wasn't digging into the audio hard or anything like that. I was just trying to barely listen, half the time. But we got that one, and then I broke down the one from last week on the late night with y'all and Rob that has a little bit of interest to it. Let's just put it that way. It's got a little bit of interest to it. So without further ado, we're going to start off. Now, the name of my group, I'm going to shout it out just because I like saying it, just to make everybody look at me funny. It was called, and I didn't come up with the name. Max did. Max Ryan came up with the name. So it's the Partnership for the Exploration of Paranormal Phenomena and Research. We called it PEPPR. PEPPR. I had the logo. I'm still trying to find the logo again. I had it somewhere. I don't know where. It's somewhere, but it was cool looking. I liked it. All right. So.
Well, that's a little long. It's a little long.
It's okay though, because we weren't on the psychic side or the sensitive side of it. We were straight out. We used them like a divining rod, a psychic or a medium or somebody that was sensitive. We used them like a divining rod, and we were straight out. We tried to do everything as scientific as possible. That's why when you see me on the investigation stuff, you see me go through and I'm taking readings with my tri-field meter and recording them, the temperature, the 3 different fields and such. The whole way, I'll do that about once an hour or so, because I want to maintain an actual baseline for the entire building for the entire time. Right. So that's one of the things I learned doing that. So it was fun. I mean, we caught some stuff. We saw some stuff that we probably shouldn't have saw. But yeah, when you see do one investigation, you see a truck bed full of beer cans in the back of it, and hey, these guys want us to come check something out. Yeah, I can check it out. It's all right there.
Right.
So, but this first one though, I'm gonna play you the full clip. It's about a minute or so you can hear it. It's at the orphanage, and this is about 3 different voices is what you're gonna hear. So bear with me. I hope it comes across like I want it to. I hope everybody hears it okay. And give me a holler in the chat or something if you hear something that I'm not hearing. So okay. What you got?
But before we get into it, explain to me who was in the room when this was taken.
Okay, this was during the conference that was up there. There were several doing a quote unquote walkthrough investigation of several of the buildings up there. kind of like a ghost walk type thing, but you got actual investigators going in. John Zappas was there. I don't know if he was in their group or whatever, but he was around the same area they were at. They talked before, but him and I'm trying to remember who else. I don't think Lorraine Warren was there on this one.
So my main question is, were there any children?
No, there was definitely no children. Children were not allowed on the walk at all. Okay. So no children. Right. And I hope there's no faint voice females on it, because I can't say that there wasn't or for sure, but I'll let y'all listen to the whole thing first, and then we'll start breaking down.
Okay. Can you tap?
I'll see you. All right, I'll try to get
Goodbye.
Okay, that's all there really is to it. I don't know why
there's 5 minutes of this. There's a lot going on in there.
Just in that 22, 23 seconds, because there's nothing else left on this entire file. This is the original WAV file, so this is what was originally sent to me. Now I cropped down stuff and made MP3s later on, but this is what was originally sent to me. So as you can see, I'm forwarding through. There is nothing left on this entire 5 minutes worth of audio here. Okay.
Yeah, because the first thing I hear is the little girl going, "Hi."
Yeah, and I'm gonna do it one more time just so everybody can hear it. I'm gonna play the first 3 seconds or so.
Okay.
Can you tap?
There it is.
Right?
Hi. Yeah. Hi.
Now, as you keep going, what do you get?
All right, I'll try to
back up.
Ready to come back some? I didn't want to go that far.
Yep. It sounds like I'm hearing. Go ahead.
I think that's one of the guys in the group, but.
All right, I'll try to
what did you hear there?
I hear the little girl singing.
Yeah,
but there's
same little girl singing.
Yeah, but there's that. That doesn't sound like one of the guys.
And see, I didn't even pull that one aside. I may have a little bit with one of the other captures, but I'm gonna pull it back one more time.
Okay.
Listen,
but I hear the little girl singing.
Yeah, singing kind of in the background. Listen right. I want you to listen to the very first sound you hear. The very first one. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I don't know that there was a woman that was far enough from it to sound that distant. You know what I mean?
That doesn't sound like a woman to me.
Does it sound like a kid?
Yes.
Okay, here it is.
And then right after that is where I'm hearing the three, like the.
Yep. Well, you get the high first. This one's
and
before the even high. So here's before the high. It's almost like, are you home? Are they home or something like that? And we'll enhance.
I don't know. That's yeah. Okay.
That's not enhanced still. That's part of the same file. Did you hear that little bit?
Yes.
Okay, then you got somebody. You heard the high behind him, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll try to.
Now that I'm wondering, I don't know sure what that really is. I don't know that really is.
That sounds like you not only have one spirit, it sounds like possibly two in there.
And I'm thinking there's more than that, actually, because it said they identified 3 according to this, but I'm only hearing the originally the 2, but I'm thinking this first one is another one, not the little girl, because it sounds like a different style voice. Like, listen to this. That one right there does not sound like the.
Can you tap?
You see, you hear it again behind with the little girl too. It's like both of them at the same time.
It could be, but see, I would. The bad thing about this is I'd have to break it down on a graph. and see where it's coming from. And that's what's hard about doing it this way. But I mean, it could possibly be two.
Yeah. And the problem is, once again, the same thing what we dealt with, what I was talking about with last week's stuff, getting y'all's, without being able to identify which stream or how to isolate one on the graph. Sometimes it doesn't even come up. It just blurred together as one sound. So
yeah,
it is what it is on that part. But yeah, I mean, so now I'm going to go ahead and bring up the enhanced version here. We're going to do this first one. The first one is cropped now. This is just cropped. This is just cropped. That was that very first sound. Okay. Then if we enhance it, I can't quite make out what it is, but it almost sounds like home in there somewhere.
it could be anything at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not very clear. I mean, it's definitely an EVP because nobody is reacting to it.
No.
Nobody's reacting, so it is an EVP. I mean, so it's not a disembodied voice.
Nope.
But I mean, you're right though. There could be two, because the first voice and the second voice, they sound like they're young, but not the same.
Yeah. Yep.
And the three breaths sound like there's two of them there.
And I'm gonna hope I got the three breaths in that my enhanced on the other one, because I didn't catch it like that. I actually heard them as more of one of the guys breathing type thing. But the more you mention it, the more I listen to it, it very well could be. And I'll probably need to enhance that part as well. But
you might have caught it, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the first voice, quote unquote. Okay. Here's the second voice cropped, which you know it.
Can you tap?
Right.
Can you tap?
And here, hi.
Right. That's a definite high.
Yeah. So we got that now. Enhanced it as well.
Can you tap?
Okay.
Can you tap?
That's definitely a little girl saying hi.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So between that and then I've got third and possibly fourth. This is where the singing will come in.
All right, I'll try to get it.
Did you hear it again? It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there.
All right, I'll try to get it.
The three breaths are right there.
Yeah. Right there at the very first part.
Well, as she starts singing, you hear it. So
yeah. So you think that maybe she may be taking breaths, maybe?
no, I think there's two, at least two.
You think there's two there, huh?
Yep, I think there's two. Because as she's singing, you're hearing the breaths also. That sound closer up to the mic. Because
you know,
you know how little kids get when they get excited.
We got friends. We got friends here.
Acting a fool. Yeah, they're acting a fool. Yeah. Right.
Okay, so let's see what we got again. One more time. I hate using this Windows Media Player because I can't slow it down quite as easily.
All right, I'll try to get it.
Yeah, I heard that clear as day.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that could have come from, because they shouldn't have been winded in there. I wouldn't have think.
That's not something that's not a noise an investigator would make without saying, "Oh gosh, that was me," or or say no, that and it doesn't. To me, when I'm listening to EVPs, it sounds like you hear the voice, but it's kind of like there's something about it that just doesn't sound quite right.
Yeah.
It's like it's I don't know how to explain it, but that's what it sounds like to me.
I'm going to go back to that second one again, because Denise said something that said she thought she hear surprise in the enhanced first one. So I want to hear that, see if I actually hear it like she said.
Can you tap?
Could be surprised, I guess.
No, the very first one.
Okay, so the very first one, let's see here.
Let's see what the
She's right.
No.
That really, you don't think it was?
No. The second one, it sounds like hi, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's
This is
not
so
really.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if she was saying hi or surprise,
Yeah.
you would think that you would hear more of the word surprise because all you're
Uh-huh.
getting is the I part.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's hi. But then again, hey, we don't know.
No, we don't, but it's definitely a little girl.
We just don't. Yeah, it's our best guess. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to see here if I got this third one cropped separately here. That's exactly what it was. That's why I did crop those breasts, because that's why I was saying I made sure I got them separately. This is what I considered the third voice, which was I hear something. It's either breasts or somebody's cranking something, like rolling something up, which I would doubt on that kind of an investigation. You're not setting anything out, so
It definitely sounds like breath,
breast to
like
you.
a breath, like a
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me, definitely. And like I said, to me, it sounds like possibly two. No, I can't say about the third one, but I'm just saying there's at least two.
Yeah, there's at least two right there, because here's the fourth one with the singing.
Okay. That's the high girl.
Yeah, that's the one that said hi. That's the little girl.
Yes,
that's almost say that's a little girl.
the high girl. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, she's obviously sounds like she's happy.
Well, she's probably happy people are in there. Who knows?
Well, yeah.
I mean, she's just having a good time with everybody else.
Very much, very much. So, and there's a couple of other ones like we had one that at the orphanage as well. It was I've got it isolated. I'm going to play the full one for you real quick. That's the whimper. We call it the whimpers because all it is just all you can hear is whimpering. But this one, the people in the room react to it.
Right.
So.
To the right, up the street a little bit, and then I'll come over and take the lead.
I heard it. What is it? I just heard it again.
I think something touched
I
my
like,
shoulder.
no,
I
swear, it sounded like some kid just whimpering.
You hear that? They heard the kid whimpering. Did you hear it in there?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So that tells me right there it's a disembodied voice because it was heard audibly with your ears.
Exactly.
It wasn't recorded. They heard it out loud.
Yeah. So, and you got the guy saying he said he was touched on his shoulder too at that same time. So somebody's wanting to talk to him, I think.
Right. And like I said, that's a personal experience. That's something we cannot verify. But it is
can't prove.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if he would have said, "Hey, somebody just touched me on my shoulder," and then we heard the whimper, that would be something more than, "Oh, did you hear that? Yeah, I heard that, and something touched my shoulder." Do you see what I'm saying?
He reacted to kind of them. Yeah.
Yeah, after the fact, the validation after the fact doesn't quite hold the water as if you were to say in the beginning, "Hey, somebody just touched my shoulder," and then you hear the sigh or the whimper.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really validate that, because you don't know if you're just, it's like a knee jerk reaction or your shirt kind of like moved a certain way or, you just don't know. So,
yeah. And that's why I discount usually when I hear somebody talk about, well, I was touched over here. I was touched over there. Well, I wish you'd have said it right when it happened, first of all, but now you're reacting because somebody else heard another, or you might've heard a voice or everybody heard the voice or whatever, the whimper. Now you're reacting and telling them about something after the fact. So yeah.
Right.
It's
so,
psychosomatic.
Because
Then,
after the fact, like I said, it doesn't validate. Yeah, it doesn't validate after the fact. It's kind of like if you were to say it beforehand, then that would have been something. But it's hard though, because maybe it did happen,
Well, and I took and I now I've cropped out the whimper here. And this is the little bit of about 2-3 seconds of the whimper right here.
Okay.
To the right, the street a little bit, and then I'll come over and take the lead.
I heard it. What is it? I just heard it again.
Yeah. I think something touched my shoulder.
See, and that's I cropped out all of that just to kind of get that alone, and you could hear it in the background. And then I enhanced that bit with the whimper.
Right, which it's there. I mean, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yep. So that was one of the ones that whole trip that they did up to Gettysburg that time was very fruitful. I mean, they had a blast and they come back just talking all about this. I mean, we went through this stuff, and back then we're talking about we're not the earliest forms of digital recorders, type thing. I mean, we're just barely. It's a 2006, 2007 time frame. We're barely out of the cassette recorders for college type thing. So
right.
So, I mean,
to record lectures and class notes and yeah.
Yep. And he sent me the uncompressed wave files, which I turned into MP3s just for this purpose, because it's a heck of a lot easier to deal with MP3s than it is waves when it comes to going across the internet. So.
Right. And I sometimes do MP4s just for clarity. They're sometimes a little bit more crisp in the audio.
Yeah, make a little video out of it just to make sure the audio stays up there.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I say this is a great catch. This is a fantastic catch.
Yeah.
I mean, that little girl singing is amazing. That's amazing, because normally you won't catch all of that. You'll catch like a little la la la, and that's all you'll catch. But this little girl is singing.
Was singing along. Yeah, she was singing along as she was going. I bet if we could have seen her, she was probably skipping next to him. That's how she sounded,
Exactly. Like she was just having a good bright time with him, walking around, talking, whatever. But yeah, that's a great catch. And that little those breaths. There's something to that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So if you ever get the chance to get up there,
that's not something of the living. That is not something of the living.
If you ever get a chance to go up there and do investigations and such in the Gettysburg area, make sure you try and get into that orphanage. That's all I can tell you.
Right.
So, okay. So this next one, this is me at Oatlands Plantation. We did one in Oatlands Plantation. It's about probably 50 miles west of DC, maybe a little bit less. And we were one of the first ones to get access to actually do an investigation on it. This was 2007, I believe we did this one. And while we didn't get a whole lot, we were able to catch me having something talk to me. So I'll play the full one first. And it wasn't a whole lot. Don't get me wrong. It's enough to make me look for it, though.
Okay.
Was that you?
No.
Was that you?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
And I went straight to the ladies that were in there, and I asked them straight out, was it you? Now, I don't know if you can hear it. It's in the very first couple of seconds here. So, and that made me start walking toward them.
Okay. Was it like who? Oh,
exactly.
Like, okay. Yeah, I caught it. Yep.
Yep. And I got it cropped. So I cropped it so you can just hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's just not normal sounds that adults would be making normally. I mean, that's especially if they're not having a conversation.
And this is set up at like a place, they had opening. You could walk into the different rooms and such, but it was set up as a museum. It literally was. I mean, there was a lieutenant's uniform from World War I hanging up in one of the bedrooms, because that's where the old man that had it lived at that time. And his uniform was still hanging in that bedroom. So, I mean, it was set up. You couldn't mess with anything really. I mean, you could sit on the bed or you could sit around and stuff, but you couldn't really carry anything out of any place or any of the closets and such like that. But it was just set up so you could free movement, but it was set up as a museum. And the air about the place was not heavy at all to me at all. I mean, it felt like it was a great place to be, but there's something else behind the facade. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to put it. So, but I did do an enhancement on this just for those. So let's see if this comes up right. And you hear both of them right there, real easy.
Yeah, real easy. I mean, you could hear real easy to begin with. Yeah. even need to enhance that, really.
Nah, I just did so I could hear it better in my headphones too. So, because I mean, you guys, this is the first time I've been able to do this, obviously, where I could control it. We've always had to upload it and try and play around with them before. I finally got it to where I can actually get this sound across where everybody can hear it good. But this one, like I said, it was enough for me to stop what I was doing right then and go ask them if they made the noise. So that was disembodied.
You know, I mean, yes, it was definitely a disembodied voice. It definitely was something, but I mean, you caught it, but I mean, you know, I would call it a class B, because you're not making out any words or anything, but it is a class B catch.
You're giving it more than what I was giving it, actually. Yeah.
You know, because I mean, you clearly caught it. But it wasn't saying anything, so you can't really.
It was just that sound. That's all you did.
But it was it was a good catch. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I would have kept it. I would have kept it for evidence.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
definitely,
yeah,
definitely. I mean, and I'm not even getting into the rest of them right now, because I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got about 5 more clips he sent me from other investigations that I wasn't a part of, that I still need to go through and really play around with and see what I'm hearing. Because some of them have got me a little thrown for the loop, and I'm like, is it not? And of course, I know these people, you know, they're not trying to pull one over on nobody or anything like that, but I still got to make sure it's not something that we're all hearing that could be easily explained, you know. So
yeah, you've got to make sure your evidence is legit.
Yeah. So, but come to think of it, we've got a little bit of evidence going on that somehow, once again, the blondes tend to bring a little bit out at night. That song, "The Freaks Come Out at Night."
Yes.
Somebody's channeling something around here, and I don't know who it is.
Right. Well, let's go back. I mean, because it happened on Bigfoot Michigan Rob's channel the Tuesday before. Okay, it happened the Tuesday before.
This was some late night. Oh, you're talking about the background for it. Gotcha. Okay. Sorry.
Right.
My bad.
Let me explain, Randy. Let me explain.
I'm going to shut up and drink my Dr. Pepper,
they caught a little something. Right. Okay. So they caught a little something, and they heard something on that show. Then we were on, sorry, Saturday night, and then we had this whole big break-in. So, I mean, we caught it, and Rob does not record his audio separately, so we can't break it down to see where it came from. But we were talking about Krista and Rob doing theirs, that it broke through when they were just on it. But I had been to Krista's house that weekend. So I left there on Sunday, and she did the show on Tuesday. And then they had something happen there. So, I mean, it's kind of weird, because everything that Randy finds, he'll tell you straight up. 99.9% of the time, it's coming from my mic.
Yes. Almost guaranteed.
Right. So we're getting Rob switched around, so he will be recording his audio. So if it happens again, that Randy will be able to take it and find out whose mic it came from.
Yep.
So this is going to be, you know, and just awesome. It's just going to be a great thing. And but this was very interesting, because it wasn't just a little; it was a big break into our to the show.
Yeah.
And to where my eyes got super big, and I'm like,
what was that?
What happened? Basically, that's what I was thinking. What was that?
Yeah, and Rob reacted too. I mean, he's like, oh, great, like that almost. I'm like, what do you mean, oh, great, dude? You don't know what you just got.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, this should be very interesting, because I've not heard it yet. So everybody here will be listening to it with me for the first time. I mean,
there you go.
Not live.
This is obviously from the original file. What I did was I cropped out the about, I'm gonna say probably minute and a half or so, I guess is what it is actually, from about an hour and 25 minutes till the end of the little glitch before y'all really start discussing it. This is what was caught.
Right.
think is a worthy story. It's about this guy.
What was that?
Yeah, that was something. Are you kidding me?
What was that?
I don't know.
That's the second time this has happened. This happened with Krista and I before as well. You hear that? The piece?
Now, you hear Rob, his mic's cutting out on him. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but that don't explain what we just heard. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all listen one more time to the entire actual audio. This is from late night last week. Not this, I should say, this cropped audio. So nothing's been done to it as of yet.
I think is a worthy story. It's about this guy.
What was that?
Yeah, that was something. Are you kidding me?
What was that?
I don't know.
That's the second time this happened. This happened with Krista and I before as well. You hear that? The piece?
Now,
Yeah, you can
think
hear
about
my
this.
mouth. You can
Yeah.
hear my mouth. What was that?
What was
Very
that?
first thing.
But here's the thing: you heard it, Rob heard it, Krista
Yes.
didn't. Krista
No,
had to go back and listen to the show to get to listen to it again.
She was playing with her phone, or she was doing something, typing
Yeah.
or something. She wasn't paying attention to what was happening.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was the first one to respond. But
Mhm.
see, with all the years that I've been doing this, and audio is my thing, I automatically look what time we're on when I'm catching it.
Imagine.
Because once I
Yep.
hear something weird, I'm looking at the time, and I can tell Randy, hey, it happened at so and so hour, so and so minute. So he's
Yep.
got that, so he doesn't have to look for it. And
Yeah.
that was a big break-in.
If I'd had to go through an hour and a half or more going to find that little bit right there, I'd have killed somebody by the time I got to it.
Right. But no,
yeah,
at least I look. At least I look.
yeah. And you actually stated it on there. You said, okay, we got it about 125, got it, and you told Krista where to go back to listen to. So now,
Right.
I isolated the very first one. Now I got 3 distinct different anomalies. I'm gonna call them anomalies. I'm not gonna call them EVPs or anything. I'm gonna call them anomalies because I don't know for sure if it's coming through a breakthrough of squelch in from another transmitter somewhere of some sort. I can't guarantee
nobody I have ever seen using StreamYard has these issues. Nobody.
Not that I've seen either. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate on it. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
Could it
But I'm
happen?
just telling you right now,
StreamYard.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody use StreamYard have these issues.
Well, so
but go ahead.
Here's the first one isolated.
Does
All right, you hear it?
Yeah, I did.
That sounds like a break of squelch. You know, it almost sounds like a break of squelch if you're used to radio jargon. Something broke squelch to make a little. But the problem is that little bit of static after the first break and kind of like that. That's not squelch. That's not normal squelch stuff. So let's do it again.
does
It's almost like something overlaid over it.
Almost, but I mean, we can't use radio jargon for internet. We just can't. We just can't do it.
But it's
because
it's not
a two-way radio, right?
No, you're right. It's not
two-way radio.
And it's not FM, not AM, nothing like that either. This is straight out all digital. So I understand where you're going, but that's what it kind of sounds like. So.
Well, it sounds like it kind of echoes too.
Yeah, it does. That's what throws me off. So, I mean, listen one more time before I play the actual enhanced version of it. So,
okay.
See how it echoes out the rest of the way, and then a little bit of a thing at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is going on here? You know, I'm trying to listen. It's like, I want to say it's his mic doing it, but his mic doesn't do it any other time other than this. So I got to rule out his mic.
Yeah, and the only reason why it sounds like he was breaking up because he backed up from his mic when he was talking.
Yeah, because he didn't know what's going on at that point. Obviously,
right?
He's
Because he didn't. He kind of covered his mouth and was talking. So that's what sounds like. His mic was breaking up, but it wasn't.
You know what? Freaky's right. That kind of sounds like it could be like a sonar almost.
Almost
the echo.
but,
It kind of sounds like it.
But why? But why?
At number one, at my time, it would have been about 12:30 ish a.m. So, and you were at Krista's, you said, right?
I was at Krista's the week before. Yes.
Oh, the week before, but so during this one, you were at home though, right?
Let me think. Hold on. Let me think. When did this happen? It didn't happen last night.
No, it was Saturday.
It happened the Saturday before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it was. So that's what it was right there. The Saturday before. Okay, so we went to Emma's house on Friday.
Yes. Yeah.
I left there on Saturday. I came home. We did that show, the one we're looking at, Saturday night.
It would have been Saturday the 16th.
Yes. So I had stayed the night at her house Friday, Saturday, and came home Saturday. We did the show for Rob that night.
Okay.
They had problems on Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Tuesday before that, which would have put them on, let's see, that would have been on the 12th that they had problems too.
Right. But I didn't hear what they caught then because they don't know what time and, I don't know exactly
when I got time, I'm going to go, I'm going to sit down and go through because he does about an hour and a half with them on that too. So I'll try and see if I can find it on there. But if it's like this one at all, it's going to be one of those that I've got to really try to isolate somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know how yet.
Right.
But because I really don't want to sit and listen to a full hour and a half
version because I don't want to run out of time.
Oh, I never run out of time anymore. Anyway. All right, here's the enhanced on that one. Did you hear that at the end?
Do it again.
The first voice sounds like his, and then it gets cut out by this other bit.
Well, the first voice is his. And then you hear something break in and say something, and then it kind of has an echo type effect at the end. Because there is definitely a word there. There's a word.
At the end?
No, in the beginning, when it first breaks in, there's a word.
Yeah. It sounds like somebody going over a mic all of a sudden, and then it just echoes all the way like it's an echo left out.
Yeah, but there's a word there. There's a word, and I would have to listen to it over and over and over again to figure it out. But there is a word there.
Let's try one more time then.
All right.
I can't make it
out. Sounds like
though,
he's almost saying all right.
Yeah.
It's like all right. Do it again. It sounds like all right.
All right. Yeah. It could be all right there. Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me. All right.
And then, you get that last bit, that boop right there. I don't know what that is. I never was able to get anything really out of it. So it's just
can we back up? Let's back up to the original because I want to hear what he says before it breaks in. And I think it says, all right.
Okay. You want the full one?
The full one, because I want to know if it's responding to what Rob is saying.
Okay. Here we go.
I think it's a worthy story. It's about
what was that?
I don't know if that's a response to him or not.
But
all I can say is
play it again.
Here we go.
I think it's a worthy story. It's about
he goes, I think it's a worthy story. And he goes, all right.
Yeah. Kind of what I get there too.
I think it was in response to Rob. I
think he's responding to Rob.
I think so. I
Well,
think so.
now-
I mean, yeah, we're getting that echo, but yet again, it's using electronics. This is what's happening. And
Yeah.
we know that when you're investigating, that's the way they come over your radio waves. That's the
And
way
they'll
we
use
use the
everything.
spirit box. Right.
Yep.
That's the way it drains your batteries. So could this happen? Yeah, absolutely it can happen.
So
So
one more time on this one, then I'm going to take you to the second one.
oh,
It is a
Okay.
worthy story. It's about this guy.
That
Okay.
What was that?
there. That right there. I mean, all right, type thing. Like it's almost like they responded to him saying, "Now that you mentioned it, it's almost like he said it's a worthy story." He's like, "All right."
No, exactly.
So, but here's the second one cropped.
Yeah,
What was that?
you know something.
Okay, you hear it?
Do it again.
Playing it again.
Yeah,
What was that?
you know something.
You know something.
Now I'm going to isolate it for you.
Okay.
Oh, that's the second one. That's the check beforehand. Listen to the very first part of this one.
Yeah,
What was that?
you
Right
know
before you say what was that, there was a check.
Yep.
And this is what
Yeah.
sounds like check.
Yeah.
This is it enhanced.
Could be. Could be. It's
And
so
just
quick
very
we
bit-
can't be for
just a blip.
sure.
Yeah, it's just a blip, but I heard it and I was like, that's that same voice though. So
You're
it's
right.
coming from
You're right.
wherever.
It is.
It's that same
Well, it
voice.
sounded like the same voice all the way through. That's not what's in question.
It does. It does. So, but that one I didn't pick up on until I was going through to get this one.
You know something. You know something.
Those all three were together, correct?
Yeah.
I mean,
They were
pretty
all
much.
together. Yeah. And this
So
is
it's
here
like,
it is.
all right, check, you know something.
Yeah.
All right, check, you know something.
And
That's what
this
it
is
sounds
an
like it's
enhanced,
saying.
though. I want to say he's saying he knows something.
You know something.
You know something.
That's definitely, you know something.
Yeah. One more time.
You know something.
Somebody's saying y'all know something.
It's kind of like, all right, check, you know something is
Yep.
what it's. So that's what I'm getting from it. It says, all right, check, you know something.
Yep. Now, I didn't.
Because
That's what
he
I should have done.
said, he said, you know what? I think it's a worthy story. The thing says, all right, check, you know something.
Like it's an intelligent response to his statement.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's calling him out, going, yeah, you know it's a worthy story because you know something.
So, Rob, we need you on here to come tell us, what are you not telling us?
Oh my God. I don't think Rob knows what he's got here.
No. And I told him, I said, you might want to come on and listen to this tonight, but I imagine he's in football mode right now. So, but yeah, I mean, that one right there. Now, what I'm going to do before we go on Wednesday, I'm going to try and take the enhanced versions of all three and stitch them kind of together so you can hear them one right behind the other.
Right.
I didn't
because
do that
I only
because
heard the first part, but I
Yeah.
talked over the middle.
Exactly, and that's why I couldn't really tell at first, because if you listen to the second one, isolated, or Christian's the first one isolated, I think. Let me look here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I was saying, nobody that I've ever watched on YouTube with
Yeah.
StreamYard, which there's a ton of people using
Yeah.
StreamYard.
Oh yeah,
I
all
have
the time.
never had anyone where this happens to on a frequent basis.
Yeah, 'cause
Basis.
At a minimum,
I don't think
now,
I've ever heard anybody have issues.
I've been doing this with you, the blondes, y'all, for what, a year now, a little over
Well,
maybe.
no, we've been going for what, 2 to 3 years now.
Yeah, but I haven't
been
been
longer
doing
than
y'all
that.
stuff. I haven't been doing y'all stuff, but since what?
It's
Maybe a year and a half, I guess.
probably
I just-
probably
yeah,
since
'cause
it
I
was
just
on
took
Lady
over-
Ann's Lady Ann's
Yeah.
radio show.
Yep. And the Spreaker side, you know, with the podcast side, I picked that up in December of last year, and it was going on that probably another 6 months at least before that. So we're talking about a year and a half to 2 years that I've been doing it with you. And I know of at least 5 or 6 times minimum that I've caught and we've gone over on this show before.
From us.
Yeah, just from
because
us.
we had that little girl. We had the little girl on the blonde show go,
Yep.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I don't have a little girl.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't have a little girl. You know, Krista doesn't have a little girl. I mean, we have teens is what we have. We don't have the little ones.
Smurfy's got it right. Now,
So I'm
going to show this one. I'm going to show this one real quick. Smurfy kind of hit this on the head. Even if it was a bleed over of any way, shape, or form, it fit the timing and context of what he was saying.
right.
So, yeah. So, I mean, that is
That's
in and of itself
that's
right there.
absolutely true.
Yeah. So, I mean, even, you know, and I've sat here and I listened to this one probably about for 30, 40 minutes straight, just doing nothing but this. Not that one. That's the wrong one.
Right.
Oops. Sorry. Wrong one. This one.
You know something.
I listened to that at least for 20 to 30 minutes straight, just trying to see if I could hear anything that would be a giveaway. And there's nothing there. Now my next thing is to actually put it on a spectrograph and see if I can see anything other than what I'm looking at. But I don't think there's going to be any difference, because normally I can see the stuff using Audacity and with Adobe. Can't even remember. I haven't used Adobe in so long, but I use Adobe as well.
Mm-hmm.
Normally,
Yeah,
I can see it on the graphs real easy.
Yeah, I use Audacity and then I'll use WavePad.
Yeah,
So,
WavePad's really good too. But WavePad is better at breaking up the graphs where Audacity 99% of the time when you put it on Audacity, you can see it before you even take it to WavePad.
Right.
In this situation, you can't. You can see where it's at, but you can't tell where it's coming from.
Right.
So.
And Freaky Geek says, does anybody recognize the voice?
No.
I don't.
Actually, you know what? Hang on. I'm going to play it
A Little
again.
Twisted says Yankee accent.
That's what I thought. That's the first thing I thought when it first with the check. And then
you got to understand that Rob and I are both from Michigan. So
yeah, exactly. So is somebody in Michigan trying to screw him maybe? Or
I don't know.
It's not his voice, and I don't see any way, shape, or form it could be anybody else's. But honestly, listen to it.
You know something.
Yeah.
You know something.
It's hard to tell.
Sounds so
honestly,
deep, though. Doesn't it
Yeah.
sound deep? Like you know something.
You know something, you know, and you're just like, wait, what? But because of the digitizing or digital effects of it, it sounds like you can't really. I can't tell the accent enough, but. Could it be a Yankee accent / well, quite frankly, if you listen to it a lot, you could hear a Southern accent if you want to get right down to it.
I guess we're going to have to go back and look at the video to make sure that he wasn't talking.
And what I saw,
that's the
none
only
of
thing
y'all
that
were
I can
talking.
suggest. Huh?
What I saw, none of y'all were talking, because when that first bit hit, that very first one, see, right.
Because it happened quickly.
Right there. When that happened, all of y'all stopped. Well, you and him. Krista was off to the side doing whatever she was doing. She wasn't paying attention really at that point because she didn't hear it. But you and him stopped dead in your tracks. Like, what the hell was that? You know?
Because as soon as I said the first time, what was that? That's when it said, you know something.
Yeah. Yep. The check was right before. Check was right before you said, what was that? I mean, we're talking about a split second before you said, what was that, is where the check is at. And then you know something comes right after you had said it.
Right.
Now here I'm gonna back it up a little bit, and you can hear Rob talk again. This is just the original audio here now.
Here's a worthy story about this guy.
What was that?
Yeah, that was something. Are you kidding me?
You heard it, didn't you?
I heard it straight up then.
Right behind you. Right behind you. What was that? You know something. Now it makes me wonder, is he actually talking to him or talking to you?
I don't think it's talking to me, but that doesn't mean it didn't come from here.
Yeah. Denise, you hear
I mean,
the
it's
hiss.
the most
Did you hear it?
it's the most logical thing, because but then again, I've met everybody in person. I've had interactions with everybody.
Yeah.
This could be their own thing. You know, this could be
Very
their
well
own
could
thing.
be.
This might have nothing to do with me.
Yeah. And like I said, it very well could be coming from Rob, because once again, y'all said he had the same issue on, and like I said, I haven't found it on the week or the Tuesday before, but you're not on that one at all. So if they had this same kind of an issue, now you're talking is between him and Krista now.
Right.
So this is the 0.01% that you're not involved. Okay.
Yeah. This might be it. Maybe not. Maybe it was somebody, you know, had something to say from my end. You know, who knows? Who knows? Like I said, I mean, it was evident they were with me last night, but I don't know.
The a little twisted and Denise both say they hear that hiss, and I think that's right after that break of what I call break of squelch. I'm gonna play it real quick and see if it's.
Here's a worthy story. It's about this guy.
Right there, that hiss behind it. What I was saying, it sounded like it was kind of. Here we go.
Yeah,
again. Ready?
that could be just white noise, depending on how it was coming through. Play it all again.
Here we go.
I think it's a worthy story. It's about this guy.
What was that?
Yeah, that was something.
That just doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound like it belongs in our feed or that we're talking into our mic.
Smurfy, it's not. No, it's not, because when we enhance it, you can actually hear him say, "You know something."
Yes. You know something.
Yeah, NSA's all over it. We love them 3-letter agencies. Bring them.
Exactly. Maybe they can figure out what's being said. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's very strange, because the last part sounds like a little like Rob.
Hang on a
but
second.
It doesn't.
Before the you know something. I'm guessing. Are you now, Smurfy? You talk about right before Brandi says, "What was that?" I'm gonna play this again just right after it breaks. I guess. Or no, I'll just do the whole thing so I can see if I just want to try and identify where they're talking about here.
Here's a worthy story. It's about this guy.
What was that?
Right before you talked.
Right. Okay. So play the enhanced part again of that particular spot.
Let me see if I can remember which one it was. Well, you got to ask me the crazy stuff. Okay, here we go.
What was that?
Yeah, that was something.
What was that?
Yeah, that was something.
There's something in front of it, but
yeah, that's what I was listening to.
Okay, you know what I can do? Since I'm going to try this now. I ain't going to guarantee I can do this, but I'm going to try this. See if I can get my Audacity up first. And we'll isolate that one spot and see if I can bring it a little bit louder too. And
I would take this and back it up as a file and put it on Audacity.
Oh, it's on Audacity. That's what I used to make the MP3 in the first place.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to get to the actual file through all my. Me and Windows 11 don't like each other. Let's just put it that way.
Well, we could always have a week 2. We can always go back. We can analyze this, look at it again next week. And then I can bring you the EVPs that are not, no, they were disembodied voices. I'll bring you the disembodied voices that I heard last weekend.
Okay.
And we can break them down and listen to them. So
Yeah,
we
definitely,
can do
because
that. We can go back to this and
yes.
see if we can dig a little more on this, because now that we're hearing what it's saying,
Yeah, I mean, because I'm like, oh,
now we're moving on to something.
now I got to, for whatever reason, it's not showing me what I want to see here. And I'm looking right at it, but modified. All right, here we go. It's 3. There we go. All right, I'm going to get this cropped one up in Audacity real quick. Y'all won't hear it yet, but I will.
It's a worthy story. It's about this guy.
What was that?
If I could bring yours down just a slight bit, I'd be better off, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to, this little bit, you're going to hear a little bit of you here in just a second, as soon as I move it over here. I'm going to move over here. Now y'all be able to hear it and see it. You see what I've got highlighted right here? This is the spot we're talking about. This is the area where the initial break-in is at. Okay. Right here. We'll play this one, then I'm going to enhance it a little bit. That's where I think that I got the check from originally. But if I'm not mistaken, right in here, you're going to hear another one right before you talk. Okay. You hear it? It's just glitch. I can't make out enough because of your stuff. So, it is
Yeah, you'd have to slow that down. That's too fast right there. Yeah, like I said, we can dig into this more and come back to it next week.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to have to, because this is one I could really get in now that I can get everybody to hear it, and I can put it up like that right there. We can look at the waveforms together. We can look at the actual graphs, and you could see where we need to do whatever at, so well, I'll like real quickly right here, or no, not right there, right here. This one is now, if I amplify it, this just, y'all can hear that, right?
Oh yeah.
So
yes,
that's what I'm saying. This is little stuff that now that I can do this, because I could not figure out how to do it with StreamYard before. Now that I figured it out, it's just opened up a whole new bag of tricks for us.
Right, because now you and I can both look at it on the graphs of things that we're used to looking at, because the EVPs and things like that may come in just as a little itty bitty blip on that graph. Just
but you could obviously
blip.
see it.
I mean, you might not even see it, but you have to amplify it and pull, because you can drag that whole screen down and then look at the graph at even bigger. But yeah, you might not even see them. So you really have to look. Yep.
Yeah. And that's like I said, when I started digging at it, I was like, well, there's a lot more here than what I was led to think originally.
Right.
And now that you hear it,
Bristol, he did amplify it.
Yep.
That was
I
the
amplified one. Yeah.
That was the part that we think in our own opinion, think it's saying all right.
Yeah. So, but like I say, I think the way that thing initially breaks in and the way you two reacted to it, you both heard it. And I'm fairly certain, like I said, when it broke in, that was just the initial, it first breaking into the actual stream on its own, and it wasted enough energy to get in there. And then you got the all right as it was fading away from that initial break in.
Right. And, it's like I said, it's like, we both, Rob and I both heard it. I responded.
Yeah.
And then, when I responded, that's a me to check my time. That's just a habit. It's like I check the time right immediately.
We did it on this show.
That's when I was right. And that's so I can immediately go back or tell. Now I was able to tell Krista on the show what time she needs to go back and listen to it. So,
and then you texted me
it's
and
gonna
told
be
me
cool.
to do it.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, we'll do some more on it next week for sure. And we'll just do a part 2 of the EVP extravaganza. And I may go back and find that water EVP from the old Art Bell show. I may go back and find that and see if we could play with that one too.
Yeah, I'm still looking, but I was in a theater and this was really funny because I'm in there and there was another girl with me. We were the only ones in the theater. And I'm talking about, hey, what's movies playing? And I'm kind of being loud about everything, and we're just walking through. I'm being annoying as it was, what movie's on, what time does it start, blah blah blah. But then you hear a shh, and then you hear a shh, 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 shh. Like a whole bunch of people were telling me to shush.
Yeah. And
I need to find that. That's hidden somewhere. I got that hidden gem. I just hid it so well I don't know where it is.
Well, you like the ones from the up there in Gettysburg. Me and Max, we talked. I mean, I talked to his wife Tara a bunch because I ordered Girl Scout cookies from their daughters, almost every year on their website because they're up in DC area still, and I'm down here. But sometimes they got better cookies up there. I got to order it from them. So
sometimes they just taste better, I don't know.
So, but anyway, okay, guys. So
all right,
we'll plan on another one next week. Trust me, I haven't even scratched the surface on some of them I've gotten here. So, and then you bring yours, and we'll play around with them.
Right. And we'll maybe we'll bring out the one we had before with the little girl that broke in on the blondes and just so we can as a group we can start taking note of these things happening. So there we go. We're going to do the research together, everyone. So that's cool.
All right. So you want to say what we're doing Wednesday? Because I don't know what we're doing on Wednesday for sure. Have we decided?
All right. So on Wednesday, we still won't have Paranormal Paul back, but hopefully soon. Hopefully, I think his work is keeping him hostage.
Oh, yeah.
But what we're going to be doing Wednesday night on Paranormal Show and Tell is going to be Ben Franklin and the Devil of Jersey.
Ooh. And that's not a hockey player.
So we're going to do it. So,
all right.
Our topics are pretty cool. I love them.
We won't tell anybody that she makes us do them.
Well, yeah, I do. I do.
Hey, we accept it because we love doing it. So.
Yeah, exactly. But see, my thing is I go out there and I'm finding all of these subjects and stuff, and I just throw them at you guys, and usually one of them sticks.
Yeah, especially when you get the Smurl one caught me when I started digging into it. I was like, caught me way off guard, and I was like, oh, this is a little bit different than what I expected. And then of course, when we watched the movie last night.
Yeah, it turned in like a 2-show episode, Yeah,
it really did. Of course, very few times do you have a situation like that where you talk about the real life, and then can actually do a watch party on here with it, So
right. Well, there's a few out there like that, but we can revisit a bunch. We'll just have to check into the legalities of some of them.
Exactly.
But I think anything over than 20 years.
Yeah. And if it's out here on YouTube already, you think it'd be all right, huh?
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Okay.
We don't know if they got in trouble. Yeah.
We'll let that guy get in trouble and not us.
Right.
We'll disguise it enough to make it a reaction video.
Right. But we're gonna be taking more look into, those types of movies and things that were made for TV because they're gonna be made for our shows. We can't have those other movies on our shows.
Yeah. So. Okay. Yay. Thanks a lot, guys, for being here. We had a blast. This is always a fun one. So we will see y'all next week. Same channel, same everything. You know where it's at. I'll put it out again like I do every week. So.
All right. We'll see everybody later.
See y'all later. Bye.
Bye.